Usually, before Dharma talks, we do prayers, we do chantings. And for some of you who've been studiously joining us all the time, the reason for that, as you know, is to clear away obstacles to prepare the mind to receive the Dharma. So like that, just like cultivating a field, each time we have to remove the weeds, the stones, the leaves, and anything that's collected. So similarly, before a Dharma talk, we remove the weeds of self-grasping, the stones of things that have been occupying our mind, attachments that are like sediments and old leaves that cover up, that cannot let the new sprouts grow. So we remove that temporarily, although it's not a complete and thorough removal. It is temporary so that we can receive the Dharma. And like that, when we keep removing these sediments from the ground before the leaves can sprout or a crop can sprout, once the crop sprouts, then it's very strong, it's very big, and it doesn't matter anymore, it cannot be obstructed. So similarly, we do chanting, we invoke on the blessings of the Buddhas, we do prayers to clear obstacles temporarily so that we can receive the Dharma. Why is that? So it can sink into our minds. When it can sink into our minds, it can make a very, very big difference in our lives. Whether we commit ourselves as a Buddhist or not a Buddhist, whether we commit ourselves as a Tibetan Buddhist or we commit ourselves as a Nyingma or Kagyu Buddhist or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Chanting to the three jewels is universal. Chanting to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha is universal. It is like a doorway invoking their profound blessings into our life, into our minds. So the chantings are not useless at all. It's very, very powerful. And in the monasteries, every day there will be debate sessions, twice a day. When the monks go for classes, after classes they will go and debate and talk about what they have learned to get the understanding very strong. And before debates, they do 1 to 1.5 hours of chanting and prayers every single day. And that's been a tradition for 600 years since the appearance of Lama Tsongkhapa. And I remember when I was in the monastery a few years back, some of the monks in the meetings that we have in the monastery brought it up to the abbot and the administrative staff, saying that we'd rather debate more and we don't want to chant so much because it takes up too much time. So I remember Lati Rinpoche and Khensa Rinpoche, the higher lamas and the advanced lamas, gave beautiful advice to the monastery saying, yes, you're right, but it's been a tradition established from Tibet. And some of the monks saying, yes, but some of the old traditions need to be changed. And then the older monk says, yes, some of the traditions need to be changed, but the ones that were established by Lama Tsongkhapa, the ones that were established by the great abbots and the masters of the past should not be changed. And they explained that chanting long and well is a way to collect a great amount of merit. And Lati Rinpoche said for a lot of monks, they don't have the means to buy silver bowls and mandalas, and they don't also have the time to make a lot of offerings and prostrations. Some are serving their masters, some are putting time into intensive studies, some are doing prostrations. Not all the monks have the time and the means and ability to do that. So therefore, chanting is a very systematized, organized, and daily manner in which they can gain a lot of merit to clear obstacles, to clear problems. And you think about yourself. The minute you get up in the morning or the minute you open your eyes, what do we usually think about? What we usually think about is not something about transforming our minds or something about Dharma or something about benefiting people that are kind to us or not about our parents or anything. We usually think about food, we usually think about entertainment, what we're going to do that day or whatever. But those thoughts are not necessarily negative. Those thoughts are more habitual thoughts that are ingrained in us. So therefore, when we wake up, what our thoughts are immediately reflect where our mind is, what our mind is thinking about. So similarly, when we come for a Dharma talk, our minds are usually pervaded by habitual types of thinking, actions, and behavior. So to temporarily clear that away in order that the Dharma can come in, we do some chanting. We do some chanting, invoking the Lord of Wisdom, Lama Tsongkhapa. Manjushri, we call him in Tibetan tradition, Manjunata Tsongkhapa. Literally, Jamgun Tsongkhapa Chenpe. Jamgun is Manjunata or Manjushri himself. Jamgun Lama Chenpe, Lama is one without fault. And in this case, it refers to Lama Tsongkhapa himself. So when you say Jamgun Lama Chenpe, it means the Lama who is one with Manjushri. And it's very significant because he built Ganden Monastery, which is I am connected to, and all of you are connected to it indirectly and directly. Any of you who has any contact with me, I believe, in any shape, way, form, physically, directly, indirectly, by CDs, by website, in any way you're connected to me, I feel all of you have a connection to Ganden. I don't pride myself as being a high lama and that you're connected to me and whatever, but I feel that you all have a connection to Ganden in one way or another from a previous life. Whether you were a sponsor to Ganden, whether you made offerings, whether you had made prayers, whether you had made prostrations, whether some of you were monks, some of you were workers, or some of you had done something for Ganden, because it was around for 600 years, so all of us could have taken birth, rebirth, somewhere, sometime, somehow, or connected to someone in Ganden. Maybe you were disciples and students of high lamas and great geshis of Ganden in previous lives. Maybe you never even saw Ganden, but you saw the great masters. So I feel that all of you somehow have a connection to Ganden, and a very distant connection, if not to Ganden, maybe to Lord Manjushri, somehow, Lord Manjushri, because Ganden is built by Manjushri, as Lama Tsongkhapa is Manjushri, and it was predicted by Lord Buddha himself. So somehow you have some kind of connection